First telegraph line, one of the first original ones that ran through there, and they still have the lines in some spots and the glass things hanging from it.
Yeah.
It's still up there. And they ended up, the guys that owned it, the family that owned it, the father wanted to just keep the property, not let Florida come in and take any of it. And then the kids took it over, and the kids are like, well, for the money they're going to pay us, it would be crazy not to take it, right? So they wanted to honor their father, but they also wanted to cash in. So what they agreed to is to keep a certain spot of it as a preserve, like forever. And then next to it, they built the solar. Down the road a few miles is a solar-powered community.
Wow.
And then right next to the preserve, what they agreed to was give them these fields to put these giant solar panels. So you got this preserve and you got these solar panels. And when it rains, it floods to where it's like a lake bigger than this graveyard, where it's like that.
Yeah.
And then the alligators mate there. There's hundreds of alligators looking to score.
Jesus.
And he's like, and when it comes that time and there's a female, you know, everybody's like, that's a gator. You get near a nest, they will come at you. And he's like, you can save all your zigzagging stuff like that. You zigzag, you're gonna miss them. He's like, dude, they will get you.
When they're in that mode.
When they're in that mode, for real. So it took me around, and I thought, this place looks like super squatchy. And then sure enough, I start researching it, and people were like, we saw this hairy thing like just out there a ways, and then some footprints and stuff they found out there. So that's a place, another place where I'd like to check out and see if you can get some kind of access.
And it's Babcock Reserve. Where's it preserved? Where's it
more
at?
like I'm trying to think. It escapes my mind right now, but it's about south of me, south of Sarasota, a good hour and a half.
Wow. So kind of probably equal with
central.
Naples.
Yeah.
Just central of Naples.
Yeah, it is. It's like due east of Naples a little bit.
Wow.
I'll have to located.
I'll have to look that up.
You look it up, and then you can get this bus. This guy will take you through the whole property on this bus with no windows.
Yeah.
And he'll just drive you through and tell you the stories, and you can go get something to eat. We ate, and then all the cowboys came in to have their lunch. You know, they're like legit. These are like cowboys.
Yeah, really.
Cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Like
cowboy hats.
Working it.
Them motherfuckers are real cowboys. How'd you know? They were wearing cowboy hats.
They had cowboy hats and boots, man. And they were herding cattle. I mean,
they were working.
That was a qualifying moment for me. But they have wild pigs and stuff running around, and and like you're driving by, and they will come running up, see if you're going to give them anything, and these cows all laying around, they'll come up. So it's a cool spot. But I thought, man, this would be a good place to check out. And sure enough, they've had some
sightings and encounters. Yeah,
definitely.
Wow. Tristan, tell them about the hog-nosed bear.
Yeah, I actually live in Graceville, like right off of 231 going towards Dothan, like right off the state line. And around my house, my grandpa like pretty much owns all that land that I live on off the highway too. And we have a bunch of pine trees that he started growing and stuff like that. But before that, it was a bunch of trees, and he used to go hunting out there all the time. And he's seen like a massive bear that he calls the hog-nosed bear. And he says that like straight up, like on all four, it was about 6 to 7 foot tall. And like standing on two, it was double that.
Really?
Yeah, he said that the steps, he could feel it in his chest sitting in his like tree stand. And while it was going underneath him, it didn't even notice him, or maybe it did, it just left him alone. He just said that he couldn't breathe whenever he felt like seen it and felt it. The first time he ever heard it, he thought it was like a tree falling or something like that, but it was like massive. A roar.
And it's got like a pug nose?
Yeah, he said it's massive. Like if you look up the short-nosed bear, he said like pretty much that exact description.
And are those native to Florida?
I don't really know.
I think their bones have been found. It's the short-faced bear. It's like the cave bear.
Yeah.
But it's ginormous.
It's prehistoric. It's supposed to be extinct.
Yeah, it's supposed to be long extinct.
He had those experiences. Like right after he got back from the army, he went to I think Vietnam. He was a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
So.
So this is back in the day. He was on
this was like probably like 40 years ago.
And then a couple of years ago, you and your sister had an encounter.
Yeah, I was probably like 6, and we were both playing soccer. I played soccer for like 4 years. And we were outside just kicking a soccer ball, like just, fucking around outside. Right. Doing kid things. And we heard like a massive roar, and we were standing probably like 20-30 feet away from like the wood line where the pine trees are, and they're fully like grown, because I watched them grow from like maybe half that pole right there whenever I was younger. Now they're like way up there, probably like 20 feet. So that's not too bad. But yeah, it sounded like a tree falling to me. That's what I thought it was, or I said it was, but I felt it in my chest and I was standing like way back. My sister felt the same thing because her face dropped. Like she was like scared. I could see it in her. So I was, was like, let's walk back to the house. We walked about halfway there and then ran towards the door. Like if it's gonna come
your
get
uncle's
us.
property?
Oh, this is my property.
Your property.
Yeah, it's like literally right behind my house. I've been hiking out there because there's a trail that goes around and like a creek in the back before it gets to somebody else's property and they own a farm. So like I've been trying to go around there. I haven't seen anything. I've had like one experience with my brother recently where I went back to where an old hunting spot is that my grandpa was, and this was just like a regular stand, like a wooden stand that he built. We got back there. We didn't go very much farther because we were like, we're kind of far out in the woods. Let's kind of go back before it kind of gets dark. And in between us and where we needed to go, we heard like either it sounded like either sawing or a type of growling, like in between us and where we had to go. And I assumed like maybe it's just sawing. Let's go back. Let's get back where we're going. If it's gonna attack us, it's gonna attack us. Whatever it is, because there are Florida panthers.
Right.
And I've heard them before, and that's some scary
That's
shit.
some scary shit.
Yeah, like just the scream makes me feel like, ooh.
Yeah, and those are the ones, man. A big cat will get you.
Yeah, there's one of those around my grandma's house at my stepdad's mom's house. I've heard that scream. I went back inside and it's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, this is nighttime. I'm not doing that.
So have you seen it yourself as well? Or?
No, I physically haven't seen it, but I mean, I believe my grandpa. He's one of them straightforward dudes. I've never seen him scared in my entire life.
Not doubting that part at all. Like 40 years ago, though, right?
Yeah.
So is that thing still around right now after 40 years? Like,
That'd be crazy.
Is there somebody who's seen it recently, that can confirm, hey, it's still around? Or, I mean, are you looking for some massive ass bones out by where you live?
That'd be crazy if you stumbled like rains or something.
Right, like if
up.
it lived there and it stayed around there, it died there.
Yeah,
Are you looking for bones or are you looking for the real thing at this point?
Yeah.
I think I've gone about 8 miles east going in towards, or not 8 miles, about a mile east going towards Campbellton on 231. But like back there, it's like a creek, and the creek actually dried up recently, so I started walking the creek, and it's just like, it's pretty cool back there. There's a bunch of roots kind of showing because the water's all drying up, but it's really cool back there. I haven't had any like weird feelings, because usually I get really weird feelings whenever like crazy shit's about to start going on. I call it my spider senses.
Right.
So like,
Are there any caves back there?
not that I know of. Like,
But that's the thing with caves, man. You can't.
You never know.
There's a huge
Yeah,
pond.
you can't
And
let
that area has caves, so it's definitely possible.
There are no.
Because he's not far from Chipley, which has falling waters, sinkholes, and they have huge sinkholes. So I really think anything's possible. Plus the Mariana Caverns, they say it goes towards the aquifer.
Because
So
when something like
whole
that
area.
knows it's going to die, it knows where to find a place where it's never going to be found, type thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've been trying to get out there and look, to see if I can find anything anything.
Hey Josh, could you
I mean, we did
could you
see,
tell the
like-
people some of your wild Sasquatch stories and just who you are?
I don't have very many actual wild fucking Sasquatch stories, man.
I think any kind of experience or encounter or knowledge is wild compared to the normal,
Well, Bigfoot, and as long as I have, I've seen. Personally, I've seen a Bigfoot twice. As for experiences, I've had a few dozen. Been going out for 10, 12 years now. Pretty steady. And numerous actual, things happening. But as for seeing a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, twice only. I had the privilege of hanging out with Stacy Brown for this whole time doing all this. So we actually get to see a lot of stuff. So
100%.
most of our action is down south Myakka area, Crowley area. We frequent there. We frequent down in Myakka State Park, all areas of Myakka. And then back in the day, used to do Chattahoochee before the hurricane came through.
At Torreya State Park.
Yeah, Torreya State Park. Now all of that's ruined and not much to do up there other than look at the sunshine because there ain't no more trees left. That was actually probably one of the hottest spots. That's where Stacy's dad got his footage. and we chased after the Sasquatch through Torreya for a few years straight, and a lot of wild things in Torreya took place. You know, we got a lot of screams back at weird times. Like we did a podcast one night, and it was just a couple of us really going back then too. It was me, Stacy, and another buddy of ours, and we're sitting on this cavern looking just over the water there, and we were on this podcast, and we said, well, we'll throw out a howl and you're definitely going to get something back. And we were just fooling, we don't know. I mean, we'd been there before, shit had happened a little bit, and we got excited, right? So we're like, just listen, and perfect timing, we let out a howl, and we got a couple howls back from across the lake there while we're on the podcast, which was extremely cool.
Very cool.
Had to pull my gun out a couple times because I got scared. I mean, I can't say that going here, I'm the macho man of all this. You get scared when you see them things.
Definitely.
I was at a place out in Chattahoochee, and I had a buddy of mine with me, and we got out of the truck, and his truck's fancy. Like, he's got fancy vehicles. I have shit vehicles. He's got fancy ones. And we get out his fancy vehicle, Range Rover or Land Rover, whatever it was, and we go to where we were, a little sugar shack where we were hanging out to do Bigfooting. That's what we were going for. And we get out of his vehicle, and he went to lock his door, and nothing happened. Like, the key fob wasn't working. And this is a fancy ass car. We just drove around for like 3 hours in the car. It's nice. I'm fucking playing with all the shit in there, all the gadgets. Like, $85,000 car. It's all nice and playing this shit, right? So there ain't nothing wrong in the car, but like, he couldn't lock the door with the fob. So he's like, what the hell? He thought maybe he left something on in the truck, whatever. Goes to get in the truck, and everything was dead in the truck. Like, we had just stepped out of the vehicle. Like, we were only out of the vehicle maybe 15 seconds, right? Yeah. So at that moment, we're kind of thinking, well, fuck, at least we're where we're supposed to be, so no big deal. We get to walking across the little gravel road there, and head up the trail. And right in front of us, behind the cow fence, was probably the tallest thing that I would say I've ever encountered personally. Now, it's pitch dark. It's 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, right? So all you're seeing is what it is. And this thing's probably, I don't know, I think a lot of people, when they see stuff, might exaggerate a little bit. It's hard to do that in this case. This thing was probably about 8 to 9 foot. And 9 foot even seems, that's just gigantic, right? Yeah. So just perspective, I guess, 8 or 9 foot. But I'm 6'4", so like 8 or 9 foot, it's just right there. So maybe it was 8 or 9 foot, or maybe it was just like 7.5 to 8 foot. But whatever, this thing was huge, dark, and it let out this growl at me and my buddy that was just deafening. It was scary. It was frightening. I pulled out my gun. He pulled out his gun, and we hear footsteps right behind us. And this thing took a couple foot forward towards me and my buddy. And my buddy, so at that time, I was like 245. Lost a lot of weight since then. It was about 7 years ago. So I'm about 240 at the time. This dude's like 350, 360, like, and he's big. He towers over me, and he's not scared of much. Big fella. And this thing frightened the crap out of him enough that with his vehicle now not working, and seeing this thing, and then hearing little footsteps behind us, he turned, and I distinctly remember he said, "That's a little one." And then by the time I turned, I didn't get to see anything. You could hear the little footsteps, but I didn't see the baby. But I did see the big thing in front of us. And when it let out that growl, it's probably the most frightening thing I've ever encountered.
I could imagine.
We hustled to the sugar shack. And the way that we got to the sugar shack from there, and this sugar shack, it's a sugar shack, just a little camping, like a little outhouse kind of a shack. Got a bed in there and a microwave, right? So just this little sugar shack, and it was only, I don't know, 200 yards in front of us. We back to back with our guns drawn, fucking hustled our asses back to the fucking sugar shack, and literally sat there as this thing stalked us in that little section of woods right there in the cow pen, all the way to the sugar shack. We called Stacy and our other buddy David, and said, hey, you guys got to get here now. It was like, we were fucking legitimately scared. And if so, like, I can be okay if you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you're 360, 370 pounds and you're not okay, I'm not gonna be okay either. Cause I'm like, fuck, I know I can run faster than you, but you're bigger. Like,
right.
You should be able to hook this up.
Hey, hey. What's up, Stacy?
What's up, man?
How's it going, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing, man.
We're just telling scary stories, man.
Oh, yeah?
I'm Connor. Nice
How
to meet
doing,
you.
Jessica?
Is your son in back too?
No, he bailed out.
Oh.
He's in a Madden game. So
Hey, that's understandable, you know. Hopefully
that's
he
all
wins.
he ever fucking does.
Oh.
Like, dude, you can come and do this.
He'll see the footage and he'll realize he missed out, you know.
Oh, I told him he had no choice but to go tomorrow night.
I wanted to say what's up. Well, I'll get to say what's up to him this time, because you know at the festival it was a little crazy, you know.
Yeah, it was packed, man. I'm gonna turn around. I'll park back up. Did y'all pay to park here?
Nope.
No?
Yeah, you can park anywhere right over there. My red car is over there. There is actually one more spot before the stop sign. Hopefully no one took that spot, but you can park right before my car probably.
Right on.
Later.
For his.
James, you want to tell the people some of your stories?
Nothing like
And
that.
encounters?
I mean, he's modest though. Like, oh, nothing happened. Like anybody else would be like, dude, that's fucking incredible. But Josh is pretty chill. I have to like pull it out of him.
Yeah.
We had, well, in Mayaca, I think I was telling you that up in Clay Gully,
Mm-hmm.
I went out there by myself, and it was about this time of year, and it might have been last year. It had rained, rainy summer. I go to Clay Gully and think, you know, I could probably make my way back and some trails back here that I know. Middle of the week, middle of the day, and there's not, you can't drive through to exit. So you just don't get a lot of, like, there's no one up there at that time. That's why I went. And there's a bridge kind of right there where on this side of the bridge, it's thick. Like, you can't get back there. And then on this side is a little area you can enter and walk back to a picnic area or the trails. So I always stop at this bridge area because there's always, Stacy was telling me too, that there's something about that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there and I thought, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try the old ask permission, you know, extend like a greeting and let them know I'm here to kind of commune. It was very new agey, right? but I did it.
Yes.
And the second I got done saying my wish is that you would reveal yourself, whether you throw a rock or make a knock, just so I know you're here and we can, you know, I can acknowledge your presence. The second I did that, I turned, I hear the gravel under my feet, you know, and then I hear, and it sounded like some old homeless guy, which it could have been, possibly, but it was in there. Like, dude, how would you get back in there? Like, you look at it, you're just like, dude, that's impenetrable.
Right.
And it was loud as fuck. So I'm thinking, I stop, I just freeze, and I'm like, I kind of do a few whoops, you know, and nothing. And I'm just like, you know what, man, that just happened. Like, that just happened right there. I can't deny it. I'm trying to like logically deduce and deduct and go, let's think about this for a second. I'm like, that was a human voice, and it sounded like some sick old man, loud as fuck. Didn't know what, I just stood there kind of frozen. So then I'm like, I'm gonna go back in the trails. I'm going back, and it is flooded, and I'm going around 20 feet outside of the trail to find my way back. I kind of know the area, so I'm good with that. But I get back about a quarter mile, man, and it just gets dead fucking quiet. Like you're in a room with the door shut and you're trying to get away with smoking dope as a teenager, and you got the towel under the door and you're trying to be deathly quiet. It was that quiet, but it was middle of the day outside of Mayaca.
Yeah.
And my hair stood up on my forearms, and I'm like goosebumps, and I'm like, I'm just gonna press on. And I got to a point where not even another eighth of a mile, where it just felt it was closing in on me, and I could just feel it. My skin was tingling. I couldn't hear a sound, and I straight up pussied out. I just turned and I got out of there. And when I got near the area where on the opposite side of the river there's a picnic area. When I got back closer to the entrance, it's like the door opened. You could hear everything.
Hear bugs and stuff.
Yeah, the birds. The feeling went away, and I just continued on out of there. You know, that was one time, and then another time, I was walking way down the trail, or way down the road from Clay Gully. There's a road, and I wanted to cut off on this trail. And when I went to cut off, this huge hog just walks out, and he's not moving. And I'm standing there for a minute, and I back away. He's about 40 feet from me, but he looked at me, and we had that moment. It's like, am I going to get my calf eaten off, or? And then he just looked down, but he was rooting on the trail, like he wasn't moving. And I'm not going to go like, hey, go on, you know. I'm like, we're just going to keep walking down the road. So I get down there, and I'm walking to like the main part of, you know, where people, where the restaurant is and stuff. It's down there about a half mile, but I know it's down there. And I'm like, I don't want to go there. I'm going to turn around and just bail. I'm walking out, and I do the same thing. You know, the commune type speech.
Yep.
And try to get some intention, and I do the whole bit. And the second I say that, this huge hawk flies across, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I hear, I said, anything, a knock, throw a rock at me, same thing. The second, just like that I said that, 3 clear knock, knock, knock. Okay, let's deduce. That could have been a woodpecker. Could have been a woodpecker. You know, if it happens again, it's only 3, then that's something. Knock, knock, knock.
Yep.
And then that was it. Nothing else. I stop on Crowley on the way home and run into a woodpecker, and I had something to compare it to. Clearly different.
Doesn't sound the same.
Clearly different. So, is it a coincidence that the second I asked for that, it literally happened in 2 different ways? I don't know. But it's always enough to keep you going back.
100%.
To keep you going back.
And we had a little bit of activity at Crowley. We heard some grunts, some splashes, and then you saw a dark figure go across like an opening. Yeah, and I had the GoPro. No, I had my GoPro at the time before it died. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't really have the ability to zoom in. Yeah. But right there, you know, we're hearing these splashes, and I see like through the thick thing, just right through there. We'll be able to mess with the footage, you know, after post-edit in some I'll have to
program
look at that.
and stuff. I tried to find it like on the clip. Yeah. And I just couldn't see it, but it was clear. And then after that, there was ripples here and ripples there. Yep. And then we kept hearing splashing all around us. And just the vibes were real weird. Plus it was raining, and it wasn't expecting anything to be out there, you know, and we were the first ones out there in 3 years, other than just Dixie and the maintenance guy. And they don't, you know, they're not trying. You saw some of the spots. It's not like, hey, let's try to negotiate this boardwalk that's at a lot of people haven't went as far as we did, you know? And it was pouring rain, so that was cool. It was. We inspired the camp out, I'd like to think, you know? Yeah, because I was showing Stacy some clips. Also, next thing I know, it's like, oh, now they got a camp out. Yeah. So did you see me bust back on that one guy who was like, I did. Funny. Well put. I knew I had an army behind me. So I was about to fire off. I'm like, well, Stacy did. I think Stacy told me to bag of dicks. And then you said jackass. Yeah, I called him jackass. And then he just went silent. I'm like, I was like, they was in Australia. I'm like, I pray for you guys with the lockdowns, but it sounds like you need an effing curfew. Yeah, it sounds like you're maybe been locked up too long. So I sunned him a little bit. Yeah, good stuff.
Away from the person that's asking the questions. Whoever wants to go under, and you'll just say every word you hear through the radio.
Connor.
Oh, so all you do is listen.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Or if Tristan, you want to put your headphones on?
I'll hold up.
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it for sure.
Okay. Let me get the SLS running.
So I say the words that I hear.
Yep. Not yet. Just sit down on the ground, face that way, and
Is the ground wet by any chance? Don't worry about that. Come this way. Come this way.
You're right. And when you're over 50 years old, you can wear whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. Really, so I can run if I'm forced to.
I hope you're not forced to run.
That's a good point. You bring up a good point, young man.
Should I hold the keys? Because I'm not planning on running nowhere, James. I'm telling you now, I'm not running nowhere.
You want to, like, since we're going to do the spirit box, you want to just, like, run it on everything on the spirit box?
Yeah.
Just run through all that, and then we can pick it back up and talk again.
Yeah.
We could start it and stop it. Like, stop it now.
Like, somewhere else.
The thing is, we're gonna have a gap between now and work.
Yep.
You know what I
You're
mean?
gonna be there tomorrow at Helm Bridge, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it out there. I gotta go to work, but
Do you live out here in town?
That's what I was like, say bad words so we know you're here. Something
Yeah,
you
yeah.
won't hear on the radio.
Yeah.
We'll get that shit sometimes.
Jeez.
So.
I know a lot, and definitely a lot comes through. It's sensory over.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
you know,
That's
It can be,
time.
and
Yeah.
sometimes there's not as much. But we did see, I mean, in between you and Stacy, we did see a figure that kept reoccurring. A little bit later, it picked up on whoever was sitting over there, but that was further away than what we'd seen previously,
Yeah.
in my opinion. We'll look at the footage, and Joey did film some of it, so that's probably the most, I don't know, compelling thing we saw here.
Huh?
Yeah, that's probably the best evidence
Yeah.
we've gotten here for any kind of
Yeah.
whatever was going to take place here this evening.
So
Definitely.
it'll be
I
stick
wonder if we
figures,
should
Joey. We'll
walk
be looking through the stick
around the
figures, I guess,
cemetery,
next.
see
And then
if we
round
get any
2, we're
readings.
going to head to,
Or we
where we
can
headed,
go to
Josh?
Natural Bridge.
Next.
Natural Bridge.
We're going to go to the Natural Bridge next. You know, stop
do
at
it.
the Witch's Grave. We'll go to the Natural Bridge, which
I don't think I've ever been to.
Oh, I was
so
going
I'm
to
very
say, I thought you'd
excited.
have a full dissertation ready.
No,
on
I
what,
wish.
What was going on at the Natural Bridge?
I know all about the covered bridges
So
around
on the,
here.
in the
but-
car on the way over there, make sure you tally it up, and when we get there, we'll get a speech
Yeah,
from
so,
you.
So
uh,
Stacy knows something about the bridge.
Tallahassee was the only. Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit. I'm going a little louder.
You should have been in Jay and Silent Bob. Definitely can't hear me now, can you?
I can hear you through my left just because it's a little
Close. Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? In your left ear, can you hear me?
Okay, so see it stopped. So now you just would hit that. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
Okay.
Who wants to ask questions? I guess that'll be me.
It's Elizabeth, right? The lady that buried here?
Is he ready?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Elizabeth, are you here with us tonight?
Bessie, we've came to talk to you. We have REM pods on both sides of your headstone. There's EMF meters placed around here. You can touch any of this stuff to let us know that you're here. We don't mean you any harm. We will leave you offerings when we leave here. We just want to talk. Is there anything you want to say to us?
It's all really fast words right now, nothing clear.
So can you hear that in your left ear still? Are you able to hear us?
Bessie, could you speak clearly to Connor?
You can communicate through us, through him, by using the box. He would tell us what you're trying to say. We really enjoy you joining us this evening.
New phone call.
I don't think you had phones back then, did you, Bessie?
Is there anyone other than Bessie here with us?
We haven't.
Who is we?
Music.
Getting the figure behind him.
Options. Supply.
Is there
Ha!
Is there anybody at all out here with us? Can you tell us your name? Are you the one dancing around on our screen here?
Appearing?
Appearing.
Yes. Is that
I see
you? Is that you? What's your name?
No.
Is that someone you know, though? Do you want to talk to us?
Check. Check. Check.
Yeah, we're checking the screen.
Is this you we're looking at?
Correct. One.
One
Will you guys
of you?
move your arms real quick?
Way.
And then it's gone.
Was that you showing yourself to us? Can you tell us how many of you are there here?
Sure.
Okay. How many of you are there here?
This drive's a hard bargain, bro.
Numb. Fan. Vert.
Are those your names?
Can you make one of the REM pods go off? Touch that green light. Please.
Give us a sign that you're here. Anything at all.
I've been loved.
All right.
Why did you have to say it like
Yeah,
that?
okay, now the figure's back.
Is that how Bobby Brown? Is that how Bobby Brown said it on the radio? Or
That figure came back and then disappeared. Right on his back.
what would you like to say to us?
Movie night.
Well,
Let's go see a
I don't
movie.
know you that well.
Fire hazard.
Uh-oh.
There it is again.
What's a fire
Together.
hazard? What's a fire hazard?
Figure's back.
Can you give us any sign at all through our equipment that you're here with us?
It's like right off of his back.
This time.
It's like the camera
Actually.
between his head.
If we can get him to move his. Okay, so it's not picking him up.
There it is.
See, there it is again.
Right where you're at. It
Right,
just
right
picked
where you
up.
were. About 3
Am I
feet.
it now? Can
No,
you see me?
It's in front of
There's
you.
another one.
It's in front of you.
It's in front
Come
of you.
this way.
Come this way.
Film that shit, man.
It went away. You're still there.
You're still there.
Put him up.
Put
It
him
was
up.
right
Oh.
down there.
Mellow.
That's Stacy right there. That figure.
Are
People.
you here with us?
It's about
Can you
right
tell
where
us
you
your
were.
name?
Oh, so this is where it's set.
Like right in here.
Elizabeth, Are you here with us?
Yeah, like right in here.
Realize my.
There it is again.
Elizabeth, are you here with us right now?
Uniform. Touch me.
It'll be a hard pass on that.
Right, I'm not touching.
Touch me in movie night. I mean,
Bessie, is
She was young.
that you asking us to touch you?
Should we touch Connor? Pretending it's you.
I mean, it would work out better for us.
He might be.
Maybe not Connor. Maybe not Connor. Might be a little weird for Connor.
He's trying to do a cock grab on him real quick. He's under it. He's got his eyes closed.
Right.
It keeps getting stuck on this fucking one. That's really bad.
wait. Speak up.
What'd you
Okay,
say?
it's back again. Can you just say that, but a little bit louder? The stick figure's back, right on his back.
Bessie.
Gone.
Bessie, is this you trying to communicate with us, showing yourself?
First round.
You think maybe? The cube right there?
Because I got it set.
It should do that.
No? No, it's starting
Because
to
that
make a
picks up
figure
on
count.
like, you know those dancing games? Like
Yeah.
Just Dance? That's how you see yourself. It picks up a
Yeah, and
stick
then
figure.
yeah, and then here's its back, and it looks like it is dancing, like popping and locking.
Stay.
Yeah. And then it just goes.
Can you say a bad word
But it's
for
only
us to
that
let you
spot.
know, let us know that you're here? Something we wouldn't hear on the radio.
Match.
A bad word.
Something.
Yeah. Like fuck or shit.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Can you go right around here? Let's see.
Less.
It is. Keep 3 cigarettes into and standing on my grave. But you can smoke less. Bessie, are you here
Here's-
with us?
Hold this, I want to make sure the camera's still on.
Is there anything you can tell us to, or show us that would let us know that you are here? If that's you that's been dancing on this screen, can you do it again?
Isaiah.
We drove a long way to talk to you. Can you please give us something?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Can you please give us some
Mayor?
kind of sign, say a bad word, something like that?
Who am I?
Your name is Bessie. Dialed in?
Yeah.
Okay.
About to get this party started.
Yeah, and so,
Setting up the camera.
okay, here's how to work. You press up on this. This is your light, okay? If you need to see it. It may get stuck on a certain channel. Okay. Okay, and then you just have to hold down up again.
Till it finds one?
Yeah, well, it's gonna scan.
Okay.
It's gonna sweep through it real fast like that. Like that. And you just say what words you hear. Hold it in your lap and put your finger on this. You'll become the antenna.
Awesome.
Okay? So let me, your volume you can adjust.
Going, gone.
Are there more than just you here, Betsy?
She's also
Take
the only grave in here that's not facing east.
out.
Yeah, it is wet.
And was it the
Water.
Catholic? You'd have to
Um,
face east or something like that.
All graves everywhere face east,
Options.
But this one's
except
west.
for witches' graves. They make them face that. That's what I thought.
Drip.
Are you gonna talk to us any?
Hold up.
Wait a minute. Hold up. She's like, slow you fuck down.
No.
She's like, why do you think I'm dead now of heart disease at 23? My
Right.
husband was just like you.
She's
Will you
like,
shut the fuck up?
I give up.
I want to talk slow about this. if I
Long.
can.
Think.
Can you make any of our equipment go off for us? Show us some lights.
No.
Can you show us orbs?
Cab. I do everything.
I like how he mimics the voice.
I am not just a robot.
Stephen Hawking.
I
don't hear you.
Do you have any Palmol without the filters?
Give us something. We're about to have to go if you're not going to talk to us.
Did we leave her something?
You gave her that fucking rope.
Good day.
She didn't like that.
She said it was duff,
Good kid.
dirtweed.
I didn't like
Bridget?
that. I didn't like that shit. Is that your name? Is your name Bridget?
Jaden.
Or is your name Jaden? I'm definite there's not a Jaden in this section of fucking 10K. Bessie and Jaden just aren't two names that are, you know, right next to one another. Jaden had to die in a house across the street. He just walked over him. He just there for fun. How many of there are you?
Feel, slap.
Heart disease?
Hey,
23?
Olvin.
Weird.
Center, guy. Here on the wish.
Dealt a bad hand, man. That's fucked up.
Housing.
How long have you been here? Are you actually interested in talking with us tonight? Are we disturbing you? Are you not happy that we are here?
7.
More than 7. No. 8. More than 7.
Hit it.
You want us to leave?
He says, quit it, please. We're on to something.
Hit it. And then stop.
Okay, now, that figure came back for a second.
On this
Back
side.
up 1 second, let me see. But yeah, it wasn't him.
See, that's the thing about it. That's why you need to set it down and just watch a person, because it comes around to be great if it. My issue is it catching him?
Yeah.
You know
This is
what I
about
mean?
2 feet behind him on this.
Well,
Right,
if he
right.
stays still like
Hold.
that, it ain't gonna fucking pick him up,
Right.
because you can see him right here.
Yeah.
And it should be picking him up, but it's picking him up is the same as this shit right here. If he's stationary.
Do you have anything you want to tell us while we're here? You don't seem to be too chatty this evening.
It's all. I'm.
Do you want to talk to us and we stay here?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Is there anything in
Real.
particular you want to tell us?
Isn't Sean Watson gonna get traded to the Dolphins?
Are the Dolphins going to go to the Super Bowl? Can you see that?
That's
It's going to be funny when that one just pops up. Not a chance in fucking hell.
2030.
Maybe 35. 30, the Seahawks might be back in it.
Another. 200.
Years. Yeah. So you're right. It's going to be a long time.
200 years. He said 10, but you know,
Right.
fucking the
We're off.
truth hurts.
We're off.
Didn't know how bad.
200 years.
Didn't know how bad. But
Push me out.
Do you still have any magical powers?
Money.
Is he trying to get us to pay her?
6.
she was
No.
supposedly bewitched her first husband that was loaded. That was the premise.
Oh, wow.
So she could get money.
I can give her $1.
Do you want our buddy here to give you $1?
She said, I ain't talked to nobody with short money.
I mean, that's what Mike
There's
has
something,
to
something.
97, comma.
$97. That's what she just said.
Get your pocket right.
150. I'll let you touch my shoulder.
homeless people in this area probably come by.
Gotta get,
I bet you'll. He comes by here every day.
Is that a heroin dude?
No, he asks you what time it is, and then when you roll the window down, hey.
Don't move.
Oh.
Baby.
He'll
Time for you to go.
and he
fuck
doesn't.
off.
He doesn't remember like.
Who is
He saw you
Yeah.
that day before.
Yeah. Oh, because I had a dog with cancer.
Living through a video.
I gave it to him the very next day.
It's all moldy already.
Oh no, he
Give him a watch one day, real fast.
Right. It's all.
Sunny.
Yo, you know the time, motherfucker.
Oh, he's got a fucking phone.
Then you start pulling up to him and hitting your hand.
Right.
Tell me. What time is it?
That was it, yo.
10:37.
Oh, perfect.
Actually,
That worked out well.
Yeah, I was doing that.
power on me.
What did he say?
Power on me.
Okay, so everybody go back.
Decide.
Go back to the car. Drive away.
Nothing.
Just fucking fail.
And then check about a half an hour.
Are you gonna talk to us this evening?
Good response.
She's on it. Alright, well, let's get him out of there.
Dude.
Alright. What you think about that, man?
It's a lot of chaos, but it's a lot of feeling too. Whew. Jesus. It's a lot coming back from your ears too. I felt things crawling on my legs. I couldn't feel if they were bugs or
No, that's what those are. You're sitting in front of them.
We put you on an anthill just to see pain tolerance.
yeah.
No, so there was this like thing on your back.
Yeah, a little stick figure kept coming right on your back.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I definitely
bunch
feel
of times.
I feel lightheaded. Definitely.
You fucking word.
God.
A couple times though, it was just straight like hardcore music, like rock and roll, like it was, like it was clear music. And then there was a couple times that it kept stopping on the one station, and it was just like pure chaos. And then there was a couple times there was dark piano, kind of like what you would think in scary movies back in the day.
Right.
But it was calming. You know, it was never threatening or anything. Did any of the responses
Not really.
somewhat make sense?
Not really. And see, that's cool though, because then there's other times, like the other night, we were in that fucking cell, and it's like, what is it, rape or something, and it was like, get on the ground, it started saying something about you're about to cry, or something like, it got really fucking angry, you know what I mean?
When the responses don't match up, it gives us the ability to say, okay, so hey, this spirit box, this that we're using, there's something to this, because it's not working every time.
Right.
And ghost hunting and paranormal and Bigfoot and all of this is not meant to, in reality, be an every time thing. You're not gonna encounter something every time. If you do, chances are you're faking some shit somewhere, right? So what this validates for us, especially with the activity that we've had out of this particular spirit box, it tells us that, hey, that activity is probably something. Because we didn't get nothing this time. There's been other times we've gone and we get absolutely nothing, right? But then there's times that we go and you get responses like that match.
There's a lady walking around here in a damn
are where
hoodie,
they're
and I'm
supposed
like,
to
oh,
be.
fuck.
So it validates
Come
to
out
us
behind
that,
the
hey,
sign.
we may actually have something good in this spirit box. It's working, it's doing its job, because we didn't get nothing here. Nothing really at all matched up. There were some things that you'd say quite a while later, but even then the real answer, it would have been a false answer, it wouldn't have been right. Never did you have anything come back that was substantial for what we were asking.
Directly.
Right. So it's great for us. I mean, literally for our group, it's great because now I can go back to times that I've heard stuff come out of this box and be like, all right, now that was actually something.
Hey,
We weren't just making it up.
Fuck, and all kinds of shit, like, cause that's what I was. Wow, that must have been fun that time. Why in the fuck?
It's just real spotty.
Normally they'll go off of each other here,
Yeah.
but we're not getting that either.
Tristan, come hold it over here.
Could just be over in Tallahassee, and power lines right there.
This whole thing.
That's the problem with here, man. We're right in the middle of shit.
Just follow there, see if yours picks up what theirs picks up.
Where did you guys feel it?
This one right here, like where the three radios are.
It's got to be that power line. But I don't know, because the power line runs the length of the road, right?
Yeah.
That just has 5 right here. It's a solid 4.
Gotta be the equipment.
I don't know. You've got both of them. We're doing it.
I've got a good 3 happening here. Now 2.
This one.
Wow, I really thought there was lock this place up. So glad they didn't.
Yeah, we would have had to jump the fence.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would have pulled my car up. We could have hopped off the hood.
This is where you felt it?
Yeah.
Anything, any kind of action. Yep, any kind of number too.
Yeah, I've been getting readings of this the whole way, but this one is just like every now and then.
Westcott.
Florida State. Everything here is associated with Florida State at some point.
Go
Westcott
Knowles.
Center is the main center at FSU.
Oh, really? See, we got the local historian here.
Anyone here with us this
I saw some over there at Tully, which is the gym.
Yup,
That's what the
I know
main-
Tully, of course. Dang, that's awesome. Have you ever been to the Phillips Mausoleum at the other graveyard here in town? That
That's the
one's,
only one I've been to. It's been a while.
Got you. Yeah, the mausoleum's really high off ground.
I wish Sunnyland was still not torn the fuck down.
I know. There's a Sunland by our house too.
Is there? Is it
Yeah.
still there?
Oh yeah. They had a smiley face killer there. He just died of the Colt 45, you know. But it's pretty crazy. They hold some mentally insane
Yep.
people, and it's a old military base too. So there's tunnels and bunkers underneath. So it's a wild place.
Like the one here, because it was all kids.
Yeah.
The children's.
I've read about the one here in Tallahassee.
Oh, me and Joey have been. Before they tore it down.
Yeah, the Urban Explorer.
Yeah. You just had to jump a fence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think everybody up in here had a little bit of doubt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Westcotts weren't fucking poor, bro.
1887.
Yeah, they said there's a building.
Yeah,
He said there's a building named, yeah, in the university.
Oh, so there, when you get buildings named after you, typically.
You get to die right here.
Yeah.
Lots of
Josh
money.
said he wanted to be, we had this conversation. We're going to taxidermy him with wires in it so he can like pop, we can stand him up and pop him off.
Like Gumby, them old
Right.
Gumby action figures. You got the two holes in the back.
That's right.
What the fuck were those things for?
Yeah.
Legendary
You know the
night.
Gumby figures,
yeah,
they had the little two holes
That always
here
threw
and
me.
there.
It was like,
It's
they was like put the wires in and didn't plug it. They're like, whatever, man. They're kids.
I thought they were
Let
for
the wires come out.
toothpicks, so you could move them. And I put toothpicks in and try to move it, and the arms so tough to move, it just fucking breaks.
Break the toothpick.
The quest for the lost backpack. Come on. Hoodie.
Worse because it's black and brown.
I went this way with it.
Come on. Let's find it.